What's up, everybody? Today was biceps and back, and I do say it in that order intentionally because I always do biceps first on my pull days. We started off with the dumbbell preacher curl, and if you're wondering what all this writing about is on the screen, based on the Q&A, if you saw it yesterday, I basically had somebody that was like secretly filming me to make fun of how much weight I lift, and the dumbbell preacher curl was specifically mentioned. So today I had to make sure that I used the 50s and made absolutely no noise while I did it. And yes, I really am petty, and I really do take things that personally for fun. The first question today is, I am a powerlifter at the top of my weight class. I'm doing a hypertrophy block. Are accessories worth it? Yes, they are, and the reason for that is very simple. Unless you're also super lean, you always have room to recomposition. So realistically, you still want to be doing things that build muscle, even if you're at the top of your weight class. If it gets to the point where you literally can't get any leaner, you're probably better suited to move up a weight class anyway. So yeah, I would still be including accessories in a hypertrophy block, even if you're a powerlifter near the top of their weight class. Sure thing, bro. Let me just pass my crystal fucking ball. 420.69 pounds. Nah, man, y'all got the wrong idea. I love this gym. I have tons of friends here. It's great equipment. The owner's a nice guy. He's always fair to me. The only thing that was annoying to me was that somebody was like secretly filming me and trying to make fun of how much I lift, which is ridiculous because I don't know if there's that many people who can lift what I can lift in general, like in the whole world. I'm pretty high up the ladder, so unless prime Ronnie Coleman is sneaking around like James Bond filming people, I mean, I don't really know who would have been filming me that's actually stronger than me, because I know everyone in this gym, I think, is stronger than me, and none of them are losers that would do that. So I just had a conversation with the owner at Bayshore, and he asked me basically to be more quiet, stop yelling as much, which is totally fine. That's legit. It's a private gym. It's a business. You know, he said like 3 people have canceled their membership from like the morning crew of people that are there because of me screaming. So, you know, I understand that that's like unacceptable. You can't have one member that's causing other members to leave the gym. However, what fucking pisses me off is he said that there has been people secretly filming me and then like posting it on gym fail websites, posting Bayshore on gym fail websites, like memes and like that, essentially like making fun of the weight that I was lifting, saying like, oh, who needs to scream for like weights that light? I'm probably one of the strongest people in that gym. If you're secretly filming people, you're a bitch. The question here is, will I ever do another powerlifting meet? Realistically, probably not is the true answer, but I would consider it if it was like a charity meet and just for fun. Like I wouldn't, you know, be doing a 6-month training cycle and preparing to do like a true max. I'd probably go in there and, you know, do something like 95, 96, 97% and leave something in the tank because frankly, you know, and from a hypertrophy training perspective, if I go in there and blow a pec, any bodybuilding dreams that I have are immediately done. Blown pec pretty much ruins your physique forever. So yeah, you know, I had some friends doing it. And it was for a good cause. Why not? You know, go in there and hit some fun maxes. But you will probably never see me doing wide grip, arch back bench, low bar squats, and sumo deadlifts ever again. It would be like high bar squats, regular bench, conventional deadlifts. Is there any validity to Melanotan 2 increasing insulin sensitivity? Yes, it definitely does that. However, the side effects of that drug are particularly annoying in my experience. It makes me extremely nauseous. It has a funny smell, actually, too. And you get like flushing, like you took a bunch of niacin. You get random boners, which is, you think that might be cool, but it's not, because they don't go away easily. Also, moles and freckling, and of course the absolutely insane tanning, where if you accidentally go anywhere near the sun for 3 seconds, you turn like 4 shades darker. Especially me, I don't need any help tanning as it is. You know, I'm half white, half Puerto Rican, so that's never been a struggle for me to begin with. And with Melanotan 2, I just get way too dark. Next question is, what method do you use to wash your knee sleeves? I'm thinking I might just chuck mine in the washing machine. Well, that's what I do. I sweat a lot these days. At 245 pounds, it's hard not to sweat. And I'm just too damn lazy to hand wash knee sleeves and elbow sleeves after every single training session. So personally, I do just throw them in the washing machine and then I let them air dry. Once they start falling apart, I buy new ones, and that's how it goes for me. Do we have to progress every session, or at least every 2 sessions, if we are dieting? I don't get the mentality with dieting a lot of people have. A lot of people's mentality with dieting is that as soon as you start dieting, you're going to regress in strength and regress in size immediately. If you immediately regress in strength and performance when you start a diet, that's 1, psychological, or 2, your programming doesn't work unless you're in a surplus, which isn't good programming. Unless you're getting super lean, exotically lean, like for a bodybuilding show or a photo shoot, you shouldn't be losing strength when you diet, unless you're at the very tail end where you're getting extremely lean. Otherwise, you should still make slow progress. Main differences in compound selection, performance-enhancing drugs, for powerlifting versus hypertrophy. I think this is the wrong way to think about it. You could easily just say PEDs for football versus CrossFit versus marathons. It all depends on what the athlete needs. So if you have a skinny powerlifter who is enhanced and they struggle to put on weight, they need to move up a weight class, the compound selection might look exactly the same as a bodybuilder in the off season. But when you're closer to a meet and you need something that promotes a really high strength to weight ratio, that doesn't cause a bunch of water retention, you're looking at compounds that might be more similar to what a bodybuilder would use when they're a couple weeks out from a contest. So it's not about picking compounds for the sport. It's about picking the right compound for what the athlete needs in that part of their yearly calendar. The next set of questions here is, how would you assess if lack of effort was a limiting variable in a client? And typically I would look at videos basically, and we're talking about effort here in terms of how hard are you trying? Are you actually pushing yourself hard enough? And do I ever request videos to troubleshoot lack of progress for a programming only client? No, I don't, because typically what's going to happen is if somebody is undershooting their RPEs, undershooting their RIRs, they're going to stagnate because their training is going to be super easy, and I'm going to look at the cues and the signs for stagnation and add more volume. Next question here is from an arm wrestler asking me if they skipped legs, will that help their upper body to get bigger in the long run? And the answer is yes, but come on, don't do that unless you're truly a competitive specialist. Don't do that. This is like one of the most popular beginner questions of all time, always has been for as long as I've been lifting. And it's, I'm skinny fat. Should I cut or bulk or maintain? It doesn't really matter. And I know a lot of you think that what you're doing right now matters so much. But when I was a beginner, I decided to bulk. I gained weight and I went from skinny fat to a little bit chubby. In retrospect, would I have probably dieted first? Sure. But guess what? You fast forward 2, 3, 5 years, and you're not even going to remember what you did. Just take any positive step forward, any positive step whatsoever. All I'll say is that when you're trying hard at nutrition and lifting, it feels rewarding to look good in the mirror. So maybe just start out with the diet and go from there. The next question is, do you have any tips for the tricep extension machine? I guess my number one tip would be, personally, don't use it. For me, I've never been able to do any of those machines without excruciating elbow pain, so I just completely gave up on them. No. If you go in your kitchen right now and you do a push-up against the counter for one set of one push-up, and tomorrow you do 2 sets of one push-up, and the next day you do 3 sets of one push-up, you haven't progressively overloaded anything. That's not progressive overload. LeBron James is 6'8" or over 200 centimeters tall. I don't know where you're from. Does that mean that naturals can grow to be 6'8"? Yes, some of them. Does that mean you can be 6'8"? Fucking not. Do I know whether or not you're one of the tiny small percentage points of naturals that can end up as a 500-pound bencher? I don't. So what I'll just tell you is this. In the natural community, the vast majority of naturals overestimate what they can do in the next year. They think they're going to add 500 pounds to their total. And they vastly underestimate what they can do with 10 years of dedicated effort. Go work your off for 10 years. There's no other way to find your genetic potential. Nobody can tell you what you can do. Nobody has an answer for you in terms of how far can you go before you've even started. So just go. In my opinion, Jordan had a higher peak. So if we're talking about their best ever level of play for a single game, for a single season, I would go with Jordan. but not by that much. And if we're talking about who's had the better career value, it's LeBron by not that close of an amount. Just be real about it. Jordan played 13 seasons with the Bulls, 2 with the Wizards, where he was not at an MVP level. There has been arguably not a single season of LeBron's career where he wasn't playing at like a top 5 MVP candidate level, except for maybe this year. But I mean, that's just because of how many other good players are in the league right now. So yeah, that's my take on that. I mean, I don't care to answer who's the greatest, because what does that even mean? But if you're talking about who over the course of an entire career gives you the best chance to win as many championships as possible, I'll take 20 years of prime LeBron over 13 years of prime Jordan. Instagram was completely wigging out today, so I didn't get to as many questions as usual. But this last slide of the day here, I am going to be deadlifting tomorrow with a buddy of mine. Basically crowdsourcing. What weight should I use? Should I do 585, 6 plates? Should I do 6.5 plates, 635? Should I do 600? If you guys see this before tomorrow morning, go on Instagram and vote, and I'll probably just do whatever gets the most votes, because why not? It's all for fun anyway. So anyways, like, comment, share, etc. Thanks for supporting everyone.